Today on Geek Devotions, we're talking about a prosperous king, a warrior maiden, and how God's love fits in all of that. Hello, and welcome to Geek Devotions, a show from a couple of devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Celeste, and this is your Friday devotion. We are so excited that you hit play. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you don't like it, but hit the like button if you like it. Most definitely. Also, if you really like our content, make sure you hit that bell symbol so that you get notified every time we post up a video, because we post up videos quite often.
And YouTube doesn't tell you things.
So there you go. Before we get into today's episode, don't forget to check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our Twitch, as well as our website. We're doing some stuff on Twitch now, and then we're adding book reviews and movie reviews and TV reviews, and anything that'll sit still, we're reviewing it. So head on over to the website to check all that out. That being said, we have a resource where we get to get new free books from a publishing company. They actually have several publishing companies that use this one site, and they give you a book and go, hey, write a review. I had the opportunity to write a review on a book called The Warrior Maiden by Melanie Dickinson. Now, Melanie Dickerson, because I said it wrong a minute ago, is a Christian author, and her faith is abundantly clear throughout her writing. Not cheesily so, but still really good. And, you know, there's a lot of things that you can pull from this book that she puts in there, and it's a beautiful story, a beautiful retelling of the story of Mulan with a way of pointing you back to God. She does a great job with that. But one of the things that got me, that was one of the ones that wasn't quite so obvious. Now, for those of you who read the review, you want to read the book, you haven't read the book, or you haven't finished the book, because it did come out a week ago. Came out on the 5th. This is your spoiler warning. So in the story, you see Mulan and the main hero, not the heroine, but the hero, named Wolfgang, fall in love. This is a classic thing that happens, is that Mulan falls in love with the general. We all know this. So throughout the story, you watch this happen. You watch them fall in love with a godly perspective on things, and him find out that she's not, she is she, find out why she has decided to become a soldier, and then protect her and love her and all that fun stuff. But through the whole thing, we watch Mulan struggle to accept that he loves her. Mulan's father was not the best father, was not somebody who instilled love in her and told her that she was beautiful. It was somebody that was just kind of there. So Mulan learned from a young age that she needed to rely on herself to protect herself and her mother. They could not rely on her father. They could not necessarily rely on the townspeople, to an extent, but not when the going got tough. She had herself. So at one point in the story, we see Wolfgang tell Mulan, why can you not trust me to take care of this? Because he is trying to do something, the heroic thing, that needs to happen that really is very dangerous for her, and very dangerous for anyone, but especially for her, being as she is weaker and not as experienced in this area. This is similar to how we can be with Christ. We are so used to handling things on our own, taking care of things that need to happen by ourselves, that we don't always think to go to God and see what He says about the situation. Sometimes we can be so overwhelmed and still not talk to God. Sometimes it can be a small thing that we really do need to go, hey, God, what are your plans for this? Trusting God's love and God's plans for us is a fundamental thing of Christianity. It is one of those things that it just kind of goes without being said. So much so that people don't talk about it this blatantly. They don't go, hey, you need to trust God and His plan, because it's all going to be okay. Or if they do, it's mixed in with other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. This is something that I have problems with, so So I'm on the other side with you going, oh, yeah, I do that. So yeah, it's hard. It's a difficult thing to trust somebody else to take care of stuff. But God is the one that we can trust the most. We see a good description of this in scriptures from a king who was fighting a battle. There was a king named Asa who was prosperous. He led the people of Israel. He led them under what God said. He got rid of the pagans from Israel. All of these amazing things. They had a huge army and they went to war. And then when they got there, he goes, God, we need your help. In fact, I'm going to read it to you because it says it so well. And Asa cried to the Lord his God, O Lord, there is none like you to help between the mighty and the weak. Help us, O Lord, for we rely on you, and in your name we have come against this multitude. O Lord, you are God. Let not man prevail against you. Now, from an outsider's view, King Asa could have easily taken on these people. It might have been a little bit of a struggle, but he knew that without God's blessing, without God's help, it didn't matter how many men he had. He was not going to succeed. He had seen this in his previous things in his kingdom, things in his rule, that he had to trust God, even for the big things and even for the small things. So my challenge for you this week, not the question of the week, but the challenge of the week, is, are you trusting God in even the little bitty things? Or are you trying to handle it yourself? Now, let me put this disclaimer really quick in there. This doesn't mean that you need to sit at home doing nothing, praying, oh God, you will provide, you will provide. Yes, God will provide. But sometimes He provides by you doing what you need to do. So don't use this as an excuse, but do trust God to provide. Okay, guys, that was your devotion for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out Melanie Dickerson's book, The Warrior Princess. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a review up on the website if you want to know exactly what I liked, what I disliked about it.
Links in the description!
Links in the description. Also, she has other books if you want to go and find them. They have them on Hoopla.
Hoopla!
Hoopla! Don't forget that this is a podcast week, so we're going to have a super interesting discussion with Josh Berkey of Victims and Villains, otherwise known as Captain Nostalgia from Captain's Comic Log.
It's gonna be super!
It's gonna be super. And so, yeah, there's some interestingness. Dallas is playing with Panda off camera. Sorry, guys. That is happening on there. And I think you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, so it is time for the question of the week!
The week!
We're super excited. Oh, so what is your favorite retelling of a classic story? I enjoy the retelling of Mulan. I enjoy the retelling of a lot of different stories. I think at the moment Mulan is my most favorite because it's just a really good story to be retold.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz has been done a lot, and there's some really good ones out there. That's a good answer, Dallas.
Thank you.
So yeah, let us know. It doesn't have to be a fairy tale. It can be a classic story. I know Dallas really enjoys Metropolis and the anime Metropolis, and that would be classified as a retelling of a classic story. So, that being said, stay devoted.
Peace and love!